warm welcome to the viewers of this video and welcome back to ptscadexpert. Myself, Architect Kumar Kapaya from the city of Surat, Gujarat. For this course, Master Diploma in Revit Complete Live BIM course, which is the combo of Architecture plus Structure plus MP, of which I am the tutor of Architecture segment. For Architecture segment, if you just go to YouTube on the ptscadexpert channel, and if you just navigate to playlist, drop down, you will find a playlist calling Revit BIM with Dynamo. And if you just watch that playlist, you will find a lot of video tutorials which talked about parametric modeling, at the same time modeling of a typical structure following the level of detail LOD 400. For example, if you talk about this particular tutorial, then it is complete architecture plus structure rebar detailing following the level of detail LOD 400, which shows the modeling of a typical structure exactly in the same way a structure is elevated on site. That is how is a column elevated from footing and joined to beam and slab, and how are all the structural elements joined to architectural elements wall with its wrapping layers and perfect joint condition. So you will find all that under this content also, all this particular tutorial and listed over here. Today's tutorial is going to talk about parametric modeling, showing you how can you create this particular brick arch following this particular profile of the opening. So it is going to be an extremely insightful and informative session. Watch the entire video till the end, and if you think that this video was worth, then kindly enroll for this course, Master Diploma in Revit Live BIM course, the next batch of which is going to be begin from the date is mentioned in the description below. Just show you that this brick arch is a nested and embedded family, and it is an adaptive family which has all the editable parameters associated to it. And if I just open up, then you see that this is an adaptive family which again contains this one single brick. That is again a nested and embedded adaptive family, and this is how that particular single family has been modeled, assigning various parameters to it that nested to this particular file, wherein it has been computed with various parametric algorithms and computational logics. Okay. And then that particular file is nested into the project environment. So I'll just keep this particular file open just for reference, and I'll just show you from scratch how to model this particular brick arch family. So this is a fresh new project. I'll just open up new family, and we will navigate to family templates, program data, Autodesk Revit 2027, and family templates, English Imperial. And under that, I'll open up this file, generate model adaptive, because it is going to be an adaptive element. I will just lay 2 points over here, 1 and 2, and I will make those points adaptive. With that point selected, I will just say that spline through points, and it is a reference line. Now I will just put a point under the center of that particular line connecting these two adaptive points. Then I'll just say that set work plane, and as you know, this particular point has integrated work plane associated to it. I will select this particular work plane and just say that center and arch. From here to here, I will just draw an arch. I will turn that to a reference line. With that selected, you see this temporary dimension appears. I will turn into a permanent dimension and call this equals to radius r. All the parameters created will be the instance parameters, so we can edit instantly once this particular file is nested into the another file. Then I will just say that set work plane, select this particular work plane associated with these two adaptive points, and then measure from point 1 to point 2. Okay, and select this and turn that into a parameter, calling it reporting parameter. So that will report back to the values in the project environment. Instance and reporting parameter. Okay. RP, instance and reporting parameter. Now I want this arch to snap to these 2 points, whatever is the length. So I will just come here and I'll strike a computational logic formula calling it this R, which is an instance parameter radius. What would be that? What would that would be RP, that is the reporting parameter, whatever is the length of the arch in the project environment, that divide by 2. Apply and OK. Clear? So now that arch is snapped, joining this adaptive point 1 to 2. Then I will select this and just say that divide part, because we are going to lay a lot of bricks following this curvature. Okay. I will just turn the divided part layout to, let's say, that maximum distance. And let me just keep it roughly 6 inches for now. Or let's say that 7 inch or whatever. That's not important, because anyway, we are going to control it into the project environment instantly. I will select this and turn this into this maximum distance into the uh, family parameter. Calling it brick spacing, BS for short. That would be instance. Okay. And group it under dimension and just say that okay. Fine. Now I'm just going to open up another adaptive family file, which you are going to nest into this file. So that would be again generate model adaptive, open, and go to front elevation, and I'll just put a point and turn that point into an adaptive point. Okay. Now I'm just going to say that model rectangle and try to model. So see this. First, I will select this particular work plane and I will roughly put a rectangle over there. Snap it to the center of that particular point. Now let's check by nesting this family 2 into family 1 that where is that point? How is that point behaving? And how is that particular? Let's assume that this is just one brick. And how is that brick laid? So I'll just go to load into project. Okay. And if I just try to snap, you see, this is the way it is snapping with this flip back to this. If I just turn it to flip or flip on and off. So this is not the way we want this particular brick to be positioned. So again, I will come here. I will just delete it and let me set work plane and select this particular work plane. Okay, and draw a rectangle here. Okay, select this and move this point over here. Okay, let's check whether this orientation is correct over at existing version. No, even not this. See, with this, if I just flip or flip checked or unchecked, doesn't make any difference. So even this orientation is not correct. We want this brick to be laid like this. Okay, so the work plane is this vertical work plane. So herein, I will just say that set work plane and pick this particular work plane and draw a rectangle. Select this and move its center to this point, and then just load this back into the project. Overwrite existing version. Yes, perfect. With this, if I just say that, flip the component. Not flipping. Okay. If it doesn't work that way, then just come here to 3D. Select this and move it from this point to this point. And then just say that, load it back, overwrite existing version. Yeah, that is exactly the way we want this brick. For example, if I just select this and repeat it, this is the way we want the brick to be laid. Okay. So now I will just say that come here to this particular file, and now we will just lay some formulas and parameters and constrain this rectangle. For example, this is equal to, I want this to say that fix the dimension line, apply, and OK, and delete this. Now, if I just select this and turn this into a parameter, we can move it, and the lines, construction line will not follow. Let me just scale it down a bit. Yeah. This is going to be the length of the brick. So BL, that is instance, and OK. Fine. Now I want this brick to stagger when it is placed on this. Then I want this width to expand when it comes to this point. So width 1, whatever it is, width 2 will be slightly more than that. So for that purpose, I will first say that turn this into a reference line first. And with that reference line, because we don't want to see the lines in the nested and embedded file, I will just say that aligned. Press tab until you find the end point of this line. Snap from here to here, and again dot. Okay, and I turn it equal. Again this dot and this dot, and overalls. Okay, this is also, find that perfect. So this would be turned into a parameter brick with 1 instance. Okay, that will be instance. Now I will just select this and slightly, by going to front elevation, move this point a little bit and move this point a little bit and expand this width a bit. Okay. If you will not perform this step, then you will not be able to dimension this segment. So again, this dot, this plane, and this dot. Oh, sorry. Dot, this plane, and then this dot, and equal. From dot, press tab, and from here to here. And that would be brick length, brick width 2. And that would also be an instance, and OK. With this computation, I'll just select this particular four reference lines and just say that create form and solid, sorry, not solid. I'll just click and positive offset. I will just give it 0.75 roughly. Or actually, let's turn it into a parameter. Again, one parameter that would be brick thickness, BTCH, instance, and OK and OK. Fine. Select this entire element and also turn this material parameter, brick material, instance, OK and OK. Fine. That's clear. Now, this family 2, I will just load into this family override existing version and parameter. So you see, it has snapped along all that particular points. I will close this file saying it no, I don't want to save because this file is nested here. And I'll just expand this, generate model, family 2, single brick, copy, and rename, paste. Okay, now when you select this particular, press tab, and when you select the single brick, you find a lot of parameters, which if you want to compute it in this file, you need to pass on. So first is this material parameter, and that would again be that same. We have to type it again. Brick material, instance. If it is a shared parameter, if those parameters would have been created with the help of text file, shared parameters, so you no need to type it again. But anyways, I didn't create a shared parameter, so I will have to type it. Brick length is equals to brick length, instance, OK and OK. Thickness BTCH instance. Okay, and okay. Brick with one, brick with one, that to an instance, and okay, and brick with two, that to an instance, and okay, and okay. Fine. So we have passed on all the parameters. Now, time to compute it. So I will just come here and you see that this particular brick spacing. First, I will change it to something like, let's say, 4 inches. Apply. So the bricks multiply. But I want the brick width on end one. Let this brick spacing be. Now there are going to be a couple of trial and error methods. Pros and cons. We have to try it. Not pros and cons. Trial and error. We have to apply various different integers and variables to just see that what is matching our design. So with this, I will just change this particular brick with one equals to, let's say that 7 inch, apply. Okay. And this brick with two to be, let's say that 9 inch, apply. So this is not working. 8 inch. Yeah. And this length, brick length, I will just turn it to 1 feet, apply. But it is expanding from, I mean, some mistake, I guess. Brick length, Control Z and Control Z, and let's me just for this particular single brick, if I just come here and brick length, I just call it 1 feet. Why it is expanding from center? That shouldn't be the case. Go to edit of this. Okay. If I just change this particular brick length to 1 feet, apply, it should expand from this edge. So I will just delete this dimension and select this and delete it. Okay. And this I will press tab, or instead I will select press tab and this. And this I will just change it to brick length. And now let's check 1 feet and apply. Uh, Maybe the other way around. So I will just delete it and select this line and turn this into a parameter. Yeah, fine. Okay. And now if I will just expand this to let's say 1 feet, it will expand in this direction. No, still it is expanding in that only. Uh, let's just do it once again. So set work plane. This is the work plane, and I just say that rectangle. Okay. Select this rectangle and move it from this point to this point. Turn this into reference lines. Okay. And then just dimension from, let's say that this end, turn this into a dimension. And let's first brick length. Yeah, fine. So it is perfectly working now. Okay, doesn't matter. So brick length, I'll just turn it to 6 inches for now, or let's say that 8 inches or 7 inches. Apply and okay. Yeah, fine. And then I'll just dimension it from here to this point to this point. Turn it equal, 1 to 2. This would be brick width one. Okay. And this I will just go to front elevation, stagger this a bit. Okay. And then come again, measure 1, 2, 3, equal, again 1 to 2, and this would be brick width 2. Okay. Select this entire thing, stuff, create form, solid form, and just the positive offset that would be equals to brick thickness. Okay, select this and material parameter. Okay, and load this into the project. I mean, this another file override. Perfect. Okay, so maybe some modeling glitch. So that's why that happened. Anyways, this is the way it should appear. So now time for computation. So I want that all the brick should be laid in a such a way that they are joined with one another with a little bit of 20 to 12 gap for the plaster, for the plaster to be snapped between these two bricks. So what to be done? I will first change this particular brick width 1 is equals to, let's say, 7 inches. Okay, so that's fine. But I will just say that what should be the brick width 1. So that is 7 inches. So brick width spacing, the dots which you find here, all these particular dots, which are referencing that brick, which are referencing all these dots. Okay, so that would be whatever is the brick length, the brick spacing, that is an instance parameter brick spacing. So what should be the spacing? That should be brick width 1 plus 12 and just say that apply. Okay, so there will be a little bit gap of, or let's say that 10 is fine. Apply. Fine. Now we want this upper part, the width of this brick 2. So now that is going to be the computation. So what computation? If I just take a screenshot of this and just open up this paint. So conceptually and fundamentally, if I see that what would be this particular, this, then that would be a computation which says that it would be this length plus this radius. Okay, this length plus this radius divided by the radius. It is nothing but a computational logic. So if I just come here, then one thing I forgot, brick width, yeah, this width 1 plus this length into radius divided by radius. I'll just explain. See, so brick width 2, that would be brick width 1 plus open parentheses, whatever, let me just check. That's for that purpose, I kept that particular file open. Brick width 1, yeah, plus brick length plus radius divided by radius. See, I'll just copy. So this would be uh, brick length, brick width 1 plus in open parentheses brick length plus its radius divided by its radius and just enter. So that would be slightly more than this 7 inch. Okay. You can strive still more computation by calling that this plus 10 So that will increase its size a bit. Let's see. Okay, perfect. And just say that okay. Fine. Clear? Let's get rid of this plus and just say that this is fine. Yeah, so a little bit of gap for plaster to appear. Okay, and just say that apply and okay. So that is how we have concluded this particular arch. Clear? Now I don't want this particular nodes to be visible in now, but in order to snap, we first need it. Okay, so that concludes this. Now I will, if I just press single, yeah, all the parameters have been passed on, including material and everything. Yeah, that's fine. So now I will just open up a project. Sorry, default open. Okay. Yeah. And I'll just say that wall. Let me draw a wall. Go to 3D, CC. Okay. And just say that edit profile. I will first create a couple of arc openings. Just split 1 and 2. Join this to this and join this to this. Okay, and now I'll just say that finish. So with this now, I will load this family 1, which has the nested and embedded family single brick into the another file. And you see that you have an ability to host that particular face on face or place on work plane. I'll just say that face on face. And with that, I will select this one point that is the end of this arch and press tab until I find another point or I made a mistake. Hmm, open record. Oh, yes. So the snap points were so delete and family 1 and generic model. Since we modeled it as a generic model family, expand this and rename this, calling it arch, brick arch, or let's say that adaptive brick arch. Copy and paste. Okay, close this file. No, and just drag and drop. So this point and press tab until you find, yeah, see this point. Okay, but you see that it is going inside the brick. That particular wireframe, that particular thickness is going inside the brick. So it doesn't matter. What we need to do, select this, edit family. That will open up this particular family. Select this one brick and go to edit family of that. Okay. And herein, this is, we have snapped this. So just select this and say that no. And turn this to 0 and this particular negative offset to brick thick. So that will expand in this direction. Just say that adaptive brick arch, override existing version with parameters, and load it into the project. Override existing version. Yes. So still it is not. Oh, we selected the wrong point. Oh my God. Delete and CM, that is component. So I guess that earlier it was perfect. Why is it selecting this point? CM, this to this. Yeah, see, perfect. Okay. Now this is completely parametric. So no, and no, because this file is embedded here. See, if I just select this, it has all the parameters which you can edit. For example, you can change this particular length to 2 feet, so that will expand. Okay, if you want the brick thickness to, let's say that something like 6 inches, it will be thick as that, as thick as 6 inch. Okay, brick width 1. If you want to control the width, so As soon as you change brick with one, automatically this will update, and the spacing will also update. Okay, brick spacing and this brick with two all will update because they are parametrically constrained. So brick with one, if I just change it to 9 inch, you see everything updates. Clear? If I just change it to 1 feet, yeah, see, complete, perfect, and just say that CS, that is create similar from this point to this point. Okay, but this has placed it in this direction. I wanted to snap it the other way around. So just say that flip component. But because we changed that parameter thickness, brick thick, if I just change it to -6 inches, yeah, that will be perfect. Clear? So this is how you can create this. Now, if I just go to the front elevation, you will see this extras over here, and over here, both. So how to get rid of that? So select this and go to any family of this and come to front elevation and actually not front elevation. Press tab until you find this dot H5. Okay. So this beginning indent and end indent. These are the instance parameters. I will just change it to, let's say that start offset SO for short. Let's it be an instance. Okay. And this again end offset instance. Okay. And with this little changes, I will just load this and override existing version and its parameters. Oh, one thing I forgot that it should be override existing version and its parameters. Yeah. So with that, now if I select this, you will also have two more parameters, start offset, end offset, which you can control. 4 inch, 4 inch. You see? So you have to again try a couple of integers, 5 and 5. Or let's say that 7, 7. Okay, clear? R enter. Same way over here as well. Maybe 3 and 3 is enough. That's fine. Or let's say that 5 and 5. Okay, clear? You can, let's say that 3 foot. So that will make this bricks expanded. If I just change this particular brick with one to, let's say that 18 inches, see, complete parametric arch, which you can snap to your opening and create something like this. Okay. So if you think that this video was worth, then kindly enroll for this course, the next batch of which is going to be the link, the date is in the description. Okay. And let's learn together and let's grow together. Watch this video and get to this point and let me know if you have any doubts or queries in the comment section, and I will reach out to everyone and solve their doubts and queries. Okay. Thank you. Bye and have a good day.